All right, guys, we are back again with another video. So today we are going to learn how to replace this control board and this little pulley system. So if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that the only reason why we needed to order this is because it was struggling to go from agitating to spin. So in cases like that, something might be wrong with the cam, which is basically the pulley system. It can go up and down, and then it can't switch positions. Or the board is not really sending power to the actuator to pull that pulley. But either way, this is a very simple job. All those screws that I took out in the back, only quarter inch. So get a putty knife, squeeze it in between the control panel and that edge, and then just pull towards you, and then you'll see the control board right there. And then also just be careful with replacing this control board, because sometimes even though you give the correct part number, for some reason they end up substituting it to a different one. It is the same one, but some of the connectors might be in a different position, or some connectors might even be missing. So just be careful with that before you start taking out or disconnecting everything. So right there, just disconnect those connectors. You have like 2 tabs right there. Just get a pair of needle noses, squeeze them, and then pull upwards, and then you'll be done. Just also remove the knob because it'll prevent you from pulling the control board out. So these jobs are very, very simple. In fact, I actually love working on these washers because they're very, very, very simple to diagnose and very simple to fix. The only times I ever run into problems with these is when we're trying to replace the transmission, aka the gear case. But you know, that's a video for another day. So after that, just be sure you align everything. And like I've said, guys, time and time again, just take pictures, have a starting point, take your time. You know, take your time if this is your own washer, but also take your time if you are starting out working in the appliance world. Obviously, don't take an abundance amount of time where it's just a little bit ridiculous. Just kind of pace yourself. Be sure you don't make many mistakes, or mistakes that are going to cost you. But once you get everything down, just be sure everything's secured, and then you kind of start basically working backwards before you start testing it. But for this, like I said, it's very simple, very, very simple. So just put the control panel back. It has hooks, so you just place it, push it inwards, and then, you know, slam it down, and then you'll hear those 2 tabs click into position. So after this, I'm pretty sure we're gonna go down under. Now we are going to change this little pulley. It is a pulley because basically it just changes positions when pulled on, but on the little box it might say cam or something like that, and it'll say cam on the diagram as well. So, but terminology different, but part the same, so no worries there. So at the bottom you'll see that gear case, the cover on the gear case. Usually it only has like 2 or 3 screws, either 5/16 or sometimes even quarter inch. So but for this, I believe they were just like 5/16 screws. So pretty simple to take off. After you take that off, you see the belt. You don't want to break your belt, so just kind of pull it with a flat head towards you or away from you, just to the point where it starts to basically come off. Right there, that white wheel, that is the cam, and it's usually maybe like a 12 to 13 millimeter socket to take off that nut that's holding it in place. So after that, just, you know, take off that nut, pull the cam down, and that white spring right there, or that white that you saw right after you took that piece off, that's the rest of the actual cam or pulley system. Those tend to kind of break because they are made out of just like hard plastic. So if you hear like a grinding noise, it might be time to replace that. But as you can see, I do have to remove the actuator to be able to pull it out. So this one, there's 4 tabs. You press them all of them inwards and turn counterclockwise and then pull down. Some are a little bit different. Some are just basically kind of the same sort of way. So right there, you got to pay attention how I put it together. It's not that hard, but if you don't know how it goes, then it's not going to work. So it comes separately into like 3 different pieces. You see that one right there. You see that little pulley. That is basically going into those little rivets. You put that other one, and then basically that's supposed to be the motion. And obviously put that spring at the end. So if you want a point of reference on how it's supposed to be positioned, always remember the actuator has to fall into that little hole in order for it to actually be able to work. And another thing, if you don't twist it and don't hear those clicks where those tabs are into position, I promise you, when you turn that thing on, it's going to start grinding. And that's not going to be good, because sometimes it breaks it and then you'll be back to square one. But either way, very simple job. Nothing much to it. After that, just be sure when you put that other part of the pulley system, be sure you kind of give it a good hit on it, because if you don't tighten it up well, it will engage, but it's not going to be sitting in the right position. So when it comes to either agitating or spin, it's gonna start making a loud grinding noise. And yes, trust me, this little thing sometimes is a real pain in the butt. But putting on that belt is real simple. So you put it on the motor and then just kind of start turning it onwards to the cam, and then it'll kind of just put itself on. And it should be a little bit of a tight fit. It's never going to be super loose. So after that, all you really got to do is just work backwards again. A little tidbit that I do want to tell y'all: sometimes when you order these cams, try to order the original one, because sometimes when you get the knockoff brands or the compatible ones, they do fit, but what you'll find out is that when it comes to put them inside the tabs and you want to twist them, trust me, sometimes they're super, super tight, because the little tabs come a little bit thicker than the original ones. So it's either you have to grind them down a little bit, where you can literally shave off maybe about 2 centimeters so it can go in well, or you're going to have to sand that sucker real good, where it doesn't cause you problems. So, but I'll show you a video of that one day if I have to encounter one of those. But anyways, now that we're done at the bottom, we are going to go back to the top. And I think right there, I was checking something on my camera, because I think somebody from the office was trying to call me. But yeah, just a little bit sidetracked right there. But yeah, guys, these appliance repairs, they sometimes are real simple. Other times, sometimes they're a pain in the butt. But here we go. So now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna reconnect it and put this into manual diagnostics mode, which is the real simple way to be able to diagnose these washers. So what you want to do is start in the middle, go 1, 2, 3 to the right, and then 1 click to the left, and then 1 back to the right. And then once you start seeing all those flashes, keep turning the dial right until you see 2 lights together. Once you see 2 lights touching together, just press start and you are in manual diagnostics mode. After that, you want to click start again and you will activate the lid lock, and then that's when you can start running through your manual test. If that wasn't a good explanation, trust me, I made a video of this. So if you guys want to go back to the channel and just scroll down, it's one of my first ones. I think it's maybe like the first 3 or 4 videos that I ever did. But yeah, I give you a better explanation on how to get into that position and then how to go through each one of them. And yeah, like I said, because of this is real simple to diagnose them. But sometimes you do have to kind of keep playing with it in order to get into the mode that you need to. But either way, it's very simple for the most part. So nothing out of, the ordinary, if you can say. But here we're just kind of checking, seeing what's going on. But yeah, I did this one not too long ago. So if you guys ever want to invest into a very simple and cheap washer, hey man, and a reliable one, hey, these are good. But remember, you cannot wash comforters or big sheets in these sort of washers because it will ruin the suspension, and it's never going to really wash them properly the way that you want it to. But again, guys, I do want to say I appreciate the small feedback that I get when I'm doing these videos. It really does motivate me to keep on making them. And trust me, I'm not getting anything out of this as of yet, and nobody's paying me to do this. I'm literally just doing this because I remember when I started doing all this appliance repair on this sort of deal, I was completely lost. I was looking for videos left and right, and I could never find the one that I needed when the time came. So I'm just trying to pass on my knowledge to anybody that might be out there so they don't feel like they were lost. Because when you feel like that, trust me, it is not a good feeling whatsoever. So, but yeah, any sort of feedback, I really appreciate it. Come on, guys. You guys got to let me know something in the comments. What sort of appliance repair y'all want me to do. Trust me, I will find a way to look for them. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. See you next time.